For more than 45 years, Professor Machobane dedicated his time in academia, amongst others examining subjects such as government and change from 1800 to 1966. Professor Machobane takes after his father, a renowned academic and successful farmer.
My father used to say, a person who does not work will not eat.
His father dropped a comfortable life to return to his own town to invest in agricultural solutions that aimed to lift people's lives out of abject poverty.
And then he saw widows being driven by policemen to jail because it was said that they had been caught brewing beer. The beer that we brewed, the traditional beer that we brewed, was called, they called it kefa beer, and I think people at that time even got used to it and thought it was something nice, when in fact it was an insult.
His father's model of inclusive farming gained popularity to an extent that he felt the need to suspend his studies to go and assist him. But despite his dedication and goodwill to his father's popular farming, he was sent packing to go and complete his studies, where he lived for 14 years in the United States.
Both when I was in the US as well as when I was back in Lesotho, where I spent 30 years teaching, I got into serious study, serious research. We happened to have a group of men, young men, four, I think, who included the now Professor Njabulo Ndebele, who has done a lot of good things in South Africa. We had a group that was the overseer of which was Aikwe Amar, the writer, the Ghanaian writer. And we decided that we were going to become serious scholars. So we coached ourselves in there, but mostly Aikwe coached us. You know, he was a novelist, and sometimes he would get into our areas, let's say with me in history. Don't you want to do this? And say, no, in history you can't do that. But anyway, from that point off, I can say it was a take-off point in terms of scholarship.
Professor Machobane says he believes that the modern-day democracy has watered down the real ethos that existed and guided African institutions and leaving much room for exploitation.
And we have come to pervert. We've come to pervert the old institutions, such as those of giving, Mudia, Maudouadibere, and so on. We come to convert them and abusing also the extended system. We're using all those to justify stealing in government. So really, I think in short, this is how I produced. And well, to become a professor, you have to produce your CV, and in works you have to do it. I had my CV, but I just thought it was a nice CV. Little did I realize that it said a lot to the world. Until in some places I would find that some of our books are read in far-off places, in Japan, Ireland, and so on, in South Africa mostly. And then I used to have a lot of scholars from South Africa who came to interview me or ask me ideas and so on. So I was building up to what has happened now. At least I wasn't aware of it. So, but really it became something very pleasurable.
His latest book, The King's Knights, examines the governance of the Lesotho military regime from 1986 to 1993, an end of an era on South Africa's apartheid and Lesotho's own military regime. Rapelang Radebe, SABC News, Lesotho.